Have you ever wondered why certain struggles keep repeating in your life, even though you promised yourself you'd never become like your father? Why the same anger, fears, or disappointments seem to echo through generations, as if they were hidden in your very blood? Sometimes, it feels like we are living not just our own story, but the unfinished story of those who came before us. According to Paramhansa Yogananda, the soul does not choose its parents by chance, it chooses them with divine precision. The family we are born into carries the lessons our soul most needs to learn. So when you find yourself repeating your father's mistakes, it is not punishment, it is your soul showing you where freedom still waits to be claimed. Perhaps your father carried burdens he never spoke of, guilt, failure, resentment, or regret. That energy doesn't disappear, it continues in subtle ways, moving through generations until someone becomes conscious enough to end the cycle. That someone could be you. Yogananda said, the soul attracts to itself those conditions necessary for its spiritual evolution. Which means even the pain you inherited carries purpose. It exists so that you can transform it, through awareness, compassion, and forgiveness. So, instead of asking, why am I like this? Ask, what in me is ready to heal what my father could not? Because when you see your father's karma not as a curse, but as a doorway, you step into a higher destiny, where you are no longer bound by the past, but awakened by it. And that is how the cycle finally begins to break. Have you ever felt like you are carrying emotions that don't belong entirely to you? Sometimes, the sorrow, anger, or limitations we experience are not just personal, they are ancestral. Every family carries a field of energy, made up of thoughts, emotions, and karmic imprints from generations before. Yogananda explained that the universe is built on vibration, and these vibrations don't end with death, they flow through the lineage like an unseen river. When a father leaves behind unresolved pain, guilt, or attachment, that energy remains in the subtle fabric of the family soul. The child, being energetically receptive, often inherits these vibrations, continuing the karmic story. This is why you might find yourself living patterns you never consciously chose. But understanding this truth is not a reason for fear, it is a reason for hope. Because once you recognize inherited karma, you gain the power to transform it. Awareness turns inheritance into opportunity. The cycle can end with you, not through resistance, but through realization. Before birth, the soul carefully chooses its parents. Yogananda said, the soul attracts the circumstances needed for its evolution. That means your father was not a random choice, he was part of a divine design. The qualities you admired in him, and even the flaws you resisted, are both reflections of lessons your soul came to master. If your father carried deep fear, you came to awaken courage. If he struggled with anger, your journey is toward peace. If he lived in attachment, your lesson is freedom. These are not punishments, they are sacred continuations. The flow of karma from father to child is not only genetic or behavioral, it is vibrational. The child absorbs the father's emotional blueprint, often unknowingly. Yet, within that same pattern lies the key to liberation. Once you begin to observe these patterns with compassion instead of judgment, you start transforming inherited karma into awakened awareness. You realize, your father's shadow can become your light. Many souls carry the unseen weight of their father's unhealed emotions. You may find yourself repeating his mistakes, or fighting the same battles he never won. Often, when we reject our father, through anger, blame, or avoidance, we unknowingly strengthen the very pattern we wish to escape. Because resistance binds us to what we oppose. Even after physical distance or death, the father's energy can remain alive in our subconscious. His voice echoes in your decisions, his fears whisper in your doubts, and his unfinished dreams live in your ambitions. This is not your fault, it is karma seeking completion. But you are not meant to carry this weight forever. You are meant to become conscious of it. Yogananda said, darkness may reign for a night, but the light always returns. When awareness dawns, the old karma begins to dissolve. The moment you stop fighting and start seeing, the healing begins. You are not your father's pain, you are the soul chosen to release it. Awareness is the light that dissolves inherited karma. The more you observe your inner reactions, the more clarity you gain over what is truly yours and what belongs to the past. In meditation, watch your thoughts without judgment. Ask yourself gently, what part of my father's story still lives within me? Yogananda often taught that the subconscious mind carries impressions from countless lives. By becoming aware, you bring these impressions into the conscious light, and once light enters darkness, darkness cannot remain. Awareness breaks the repetition. You don't need to fix your father's life. You only need to awaken within yours. When you stop running from what hurts and start seeing it as divine instruction, your karma begins to transform into wisdom. In that moment, your father's shadow turns from burden to teacher, and you rise one step higher in the spiral of evolution. Forgiveness is the sacred bridge between the past and freedom. It is not about excusing what happened, it is about releasing the energetic hold it has over your soul. Yogananda said, "Love is the purifier of all karma." When you forgive your father, in your heart, in your prayers, in your silence, you release both yourself and him from the cycle of suffering. If your father is alive, silently bless him each day. If he has passed, close your eyes and send him light. See his soul surrounded by peace and divine compassion. Feel that same peace entering your own heart. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting, it means remembering with love. In truth, you and your father are fellow travelers on the same eternal path, each learning, each evolving. When you forgive, you allow both souls to move forward with grace. The karma that once bound you now becomes the light that uplifts you. Once awareness and forgiveness have entered your heart, the next step is conscious living. You rewrite karma not by words, but by actions, by living with higher understanding. Where your father may have been harsh, you be gentle. Where he was fearful, you act with faith. Where he closed his heart, you open yours. This is how you change the vibration of the lineage. You become the living proof that transformation is possible. You are the prayer your ancestors once whispered but could not fulfill. Through you, their karma finds peace. Yogananda reminded us, you are not a victim of the past. You are a master in the making. Live each day as a soul, not as a story. In doing so, you turn inherited suffering into inherited strength. You are the point where the old ends, and the awakened begins. Remember, dear one, your father's karma is not your prison, it is your initiation. You were chosen to bring light where there was confusion, and peace where there was pain. Through awareness, forgiveness, and love, you heal not just yourself, but generations before and after you. Close your eyes for a moment, feel gratitude for your father's soul, for all that he gave, and even for what he could not. Send him light, whisper your peace, and let the lineage rest. You are free now. You have remembered who you truly are, a soul of light, not bound by history but guided by divinity. Jai Guru Dev.